Initially, I found working in Second Life to be puzzling. Reading about it on its wiki made it seem much more like a social environment than a learning environment. However, after browsing its educational resources, it became very apparent that Second Life's social aspect could be leveraged into collaborative learning. Students can safely explore areas like this volcano independently, gathering information to contribute to the group's larger body of knowledge. In this setting, learners can engage in scenario-based learning that might otherwise not be accessible to them as they observe the volcano and its surrounding waters. Students can observe the volcano's behavior and its interaction with the surrounding ocean. With islands nearby, students can begin to make connections between volcanic activity and nearby geographical features and ecosystems. This opportunity to synthesize their learning across the different regions of the island can aid in retention and transfer. Students may fly around the volcano to its entrance and further learn about volcanic formation and eruption. Students can use observation and comparison across the different geological features to apply their knowledge to realistic and less realistic scenarios as they discuss questions such as, how might these geological principles apply or not apply on a planet like Mars or Venus? How might the geological activity of this volcano affect ecosystems both near and far? How might a volcanic eruption impact the geography of the surrounding area? Would you want to live on a planet with a lot of volcanoes? Why or why not? Second Life has many great features, but as with any learning technology, it has pitfalls as well. In order to construct a strong lesson within Second Life, instructors must be careful to prevent distraction and disruption caused by extra stimuli in the environment. For example, the light rail that goes around the island or the background music that's present. Signaling to students what information or procedures are important can be very difficult in Second Life without proper planning, as the learning sites come as is without the ability to modify them to suit specific needs. However, with intentional planning, Second Life can
which we are here in front of the building. My destination is about earthquakes and the geology behind it. You may experience music while being here that is soothing with nature-like features to feel comfortable in your experience of the island. My area and exact is about earthquakes. Moving forward, earthquakes have been around since the 14th century. Some of you may have experienced earthquakes, or some of you may have never even seen one. Through Second Life, we have the benefit for our learners to understand the geology behind earthquakes. In many parts of the world, we have earthquakes and are not taught how to protect ourselves. Second Life gives us a chance to experience it without being there. Here next to us, we have a small protected building called Earthquake Terminal, where we can operate the simulation of the red button. If the button is selected, we can experience the building in front of us with red brick walls collapse, giving us the effect of how to maintain in place safely, where in this case, blocks cannot hit us. Many sites can help us collaborate with others, but Second Life gives us the opportunity to not only collaborate, but experience the learning as if we are there in real life. It enhances the learning knowledge by using some of the principles that we've been learning with Dr. Tobey. I'll give you at least 2 minutes to experience our surrounding and test the button for yourself before I pass the spotlight to my colleague, Janet. Please stay within the surrounding area of the Earthquake Terminal Simulator.
Oh wow, the building's collapsing.
Yes. It goes back into place in 2 minutes after it's selected.
Hi, my name is Janet Cortez, and today I'll be discussing how Second Life can be used as an effective tool for an educational setting. So if we take a look here, we are at our destination on Bowness Island, and here we actually have a weather simulator that is actually known as the Lindman Ultimate Weather Console. You can actually select one of the blue buttons with text on it that describes or indicates a different type of weather. You can select one or multiple ones at a time, and it will actually display that weather within Second Life. Now, students are able to use this effective tool to learn and know how weather works, that it can occur quickly, just as quickly as it can disappear, and can have different weather types simultaneously. Now, the large slides along the wall indicate definitions of weather types, describes climate, and the differences between weather and climate. And it also describes some zones that we have here. There are actually 2 zones where you can manipulate the weather. My experience with Second Life has been fun and challenging at the same time. Not knowing what Second Life was and having to navigate through it was a good experience. I hope that teachers are able to implement and use this tool for not only in the science courses, but perhaps all courses, and for students to be able to meet virtually and be able to know and understand how this tool will increase their learning.
So for my part, I want to talk about sedimentation and its effect on the underwater environment. It's hard for me to find the exact teleport location because it's kind of hidden. So I usually start from here at the Field Study Center at Bonus with this learning by cultivating sign. And then I transition this way. I know I'm going the right way when I see the wolf pack. And so I just continue straight. I found this location through one of my group members, and I thought it was really interesting. I thought it would be a bit different than others have been doing in the Second Life space. It's a little difficult to find, but once we get there, it's amazing. And so just walk this way around the coral reef, and that's our location over there. And the part of the project of the field trip is about sedimentation and its effect on the underwater environment. And we are almost there. I think Second Life has been one of the greatest tools of collaboration and a means of distributing learning that's not as common as other places, but it's still really helpful. So once we go in, and it's really awesome, really great view, and there's different factors, different features that you can utilize. But mine, of course, is about sedimentation. So we click on it, and it says normal state, healthy water, fish and coral thrive. Click on it once again. Mainland agriculture removes trees from land, resulting in sedimentary outflows. Sediments are suspended in the water, reducing the amount of sunlight, leaving less ability for survival. And I believe there is one more part. Sediments eventually are deposited on the seafloor, gradually raising its height. So we see that because of the undue amount of sedimentation that continues to accumulate, it raises the height of the seafloor. And the sediment raises the floor significantly, causing the coral to die. So it takes out the coral, and we know that coral is really helpful for the environment, the life under the sea, the terrain. And so it says, without coral, the fish also die. And so it tells us proceed to station 4. And so we see there are a lot of really cool things inside this kind of enclave and the structure that was built below the water. Unfortunately, I can't get the grid points to bring me exactly here, so I have to do a little bit of maneuvering, but it's worth it once we get here to be able to see something this amazing and know that something like this exists in a environment or a space that is mainly used um, for other creatures. Thanks for coming.